Brothers and sisters in Islam, Muhammad bin Amin al-Shanqiti rahimahullah, when he was 14 years old, he wrote 1,000 verses of poetry about the genealogy of the tribes in the Arabian Peninsula. But what was amazing is that when he became, this is not the most amazing thing about it, by the way. What was even more amazing was that when he became older, he actually took that 1,000 verses of poetry and he tore it up. And he burnt it and he buried the ashes in the ground. So when all the ulama of Islam who used to read his stuff, and we were amazed with the intelligence and the brilliance of this man when they heard about what he had done, and by the way, that was the only copy of that poem that he had written. When he did that, they went and asked him, why did you do that? He said, when I was 14 years old, I was a man who did not understand what ikhlas was. And so at that point, I wanted to be better than all my other friends who were also studying Islam and becoming great scholars. And so I wrote that poem, that 1,000 verses of poetry without ikhlas in my heart. I do not want to pass away from this earth whilst having left something on the face of this earth that was done without any ikhlas. Allahu Akbar. This is exactly what ikhlas is. It is that you sincerely make something purely for the sake of Allah. And by Allah, if this world was full of things that were done purely for the sake of Allah, what a beautiful place it would be. But because people do not do things these days with the purest of sincerity, our world these days are filled with the most atrocious of things, because of the fact that people lack the most important ingredient in all of their actions: sincerity. My brothers and sisters in Islam, ikhlas is a religion that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will not accept any other religion other than it. Ikhlas is a word that is heavier than the universe and everything that it contains. Ikhlas is the greatest action of the heart. Ikhlas is the reason why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created you and me. It is that we may worship only one God. وَمَا أُمِرُوا, they have not been commanded with anything, nothing. إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُ اللَّهَ مُخْلِصِينَ لَهُ الدِّينَ. But Allah, we have not been commanded to do anything except one, which is to worship Allah, sincerely making the religion and our worship only for Him. My brothers and sisters in Islam, ikhlas is a word that if a person were to say the word of ikhlas and the statement of ikhlas as his last word before he passes away, Allah guarantees for him Jannah. What is that word? La ilaha illallah. Man kana akhiru kalamihi. Whoever the last word was La ilaha illallah. Do you know even a person who is dying shouldn't be told to say La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah? No. Just say La ilaha illallah and then shut up. Keep quiet. Don't say any more. One of the mistakes that we do these days is that we tell our mauta, the ones who are passing away, we tell them, say La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah. Abadan. No, that's wrong. Only stop at La ilaha illallah and finish, because that's what the Prophet said in the authentic hadith in Bukhari. Man kana akhiru kalamihi la ilaha illallah dakhal al-jannah. This is the value of ikhlas. One word, one phrase by which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will eternally write Jannah for this person. Rejoice, my friends, for indeed Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will not judge us by our looks. And not every one of us, mashallah, has the best looks and the best features externally. But Allah will judge every single one of us by the purity of our hearts. And so be wary, my friends, at the same time, because the heart is something that wavers and quivers, and the sincerity in the heart will also waver and quiver. وَمَا سُمِّيَ الْإِنسَانُ إِلَّا لِنَسِيهِ وَلَا الْقَلْبُ إِلَّا أَنَّهُ يَتَقَلَّبُ. Mankind was not called mankind except because he forgets, which is nasi in Arabic. So he was called insan. And the heart was not called the heart إِلَّا أَنَّهُ يَتَقَلَّبُ. The heart was not called the qalb in Arabic except that it wavers and it moves and it twists and turns and it goes from right to the left and back and front. My friends, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will not judge us with anything more important than the purity of our heart. And the most important action of the heart is going to be our sincerity and our ikhlas for the sake of Allah. If Allah wants good for you, by Allah, Allah will give you sincerity in your heart. If Allah wants good for you, Allah will make you do things only for His sake. And if Allah does not want good for you, He will put doubts in your heart He will put riyā and pride in your heart, and He will put all these desires in your heart that will cloud your heart from true sincerity.